My spirit just spoke to me. When you in the flesh, you don't need a mask. And when you in the spirit, a mask don't fit. And I was marinating in it for a minute. And I found it fitting with the places that we've been going, at least in the last four videos, because we going from Judas, we going from recognizing the Judas consciousness or the Judas faculty to the I am consciousness. And there are steps along the way. So we've been from Judas, then we went into Judah, and today we're going into the Christ faculty or Christ consciousness. And as we proceed, we're gonna go into the next step. But these are steps for those who are unaware and for those who are aware. It's just a reminder. These are steps of initiation. The teachings behind the teachings, the teachings behind the preachings, that a lot of folks that belong to the church or Christianity or Catholicism have no idea that was being taught or that was taught behind the figure, meaning Jesus Christ. And this same thing can be applied to a lot of things, whether it's Muhammad, whether it's Buddha, whether it's whoever. It's always teachings behind the teachings that take us into the inner realms, the inner temple, the holiest of holies. If y'all walk with me. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about the Christ, and before we begin, stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness, 3 times. I hope everybody's feeling good for no reason at all, radiating, operating, vibrating, exuding the best version of yourself. You hear me? And without further ado, we're gonna start chopping it up. We're in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. If you ain't got you one in order yet, this is a book to have in your daily practices, regardless of what your religion may be. I'm coming from a place of spirituality, so whatever you practice, this is a book to have. Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. And now we're gonna go into the Christ, the metaphysical meaning of the Christ faculty or aspect within us all. But first, he's going to give us the narrative of how it's illustrated in the Bible. Christ, anointed, from Greek, anointed, the Messiah, a name or title applied to Jesus or Yahshua, as you were, however you may know him, of Nazareth. Matthew 16:16, Acts 17:30. And I'm also giving the scriptures. I've been giving the scriptures for whoever would like to go back and research it on their own. Jehovah of the Old Testament is the I am, or Christ of God invisible. The Messiah is the promise of the visible manifest. And I'm going to back it up. Jehovah of the Old Testament is the I am, or Christ of God invisible. The Messiah is the promise of the visible manifestation of that I am, or Christ. And Jesus Christ is the fulfillment in man of that original I am, or Jehovah pattern. Metaphysical meaning. Christ is the divine ideal. I repeat, Christ is the divine ideal. So what are we working towards through this process called ascension, is to become the divine ideal of what God would be in human form. Walk with me. Christ is a divine ideal, man. Jesus is the name that represents an individual expression of that Christ ideal. So whatever your name is the individual expression that represent the Christ ideal. But we got to be living in it, and that's what we here. That's what we doing this shadow work to do. So I'm gonna back it up again. Christ is a divine ideal. Man, Jesus is the name that represents an individual expression of the Christ idea. Jesus Christ is the form of the man, Jesus Christ is the form of the name that is commonly applied to the man of Galilee who demonstrated perfection. So you are not the body you in. The body is the representation of what you really are in essence. Christ Jesus is the idea that is being expressed, or Sawu is the idea that is being expressed as the result of their faith and understanding of truth. Christ is the only begotten Son of God, or the one complete idea of perfect man in divine mind. He is the embodiment of all divine ideas such as intelligence, life, love, substance, and strength, just to name a few. In the architect's mind, it's each and every one of our job to become the architect. In the architect's mind, there may be one masterpiece, but the masterpiece is the sum of all the beautiful ideas that have come to mind. This Christ, or perfect man idea, existing eternally in divine mind, is the true spiritual higher self of every individual. Each of us has within him or her the Christ, just as Jesus had, and we must look within to recognize and realize our sonship or divine origin. Each of us has within him the Christ, just as Jesus had, and we must look within to recognize and realize our sonship, our divine origin and birthright, even as he did. By continually unifying ourselves with the highest by our thoughts, words, we too shall become sons of God or daughters of God, manifest. So we got to do more than quote it, We got to do the work and learn how to tote it in our being, in our actions, in our words, in our character, in our conduct, so forth and so on. The cosmic man, or grand man of the universe, and this is where I take cosmic consciousness from. The cosmic man, or grand man of the universe, often referred to by religious mystics, is the Christ, and the Christ is the highest self of every man. Thus, a seemingly great mystery is reduced to simple numbers. We do not realize the nearness of this cosmic man because we have not found our real selves. Jesus Christ educated his followers to discern the real man. He taught that there is a power in man that gives him authority over the things of the world. This principle is the higher self, the spiritual man, the Christ. If we would succeed, we must bring forth the principle. It gives dominion and mastery. Every day we hear, this is what we've been doing, whether we know it or not. Spiritual perception reveals to us that we are not persons, but factors in the cosmic mind, faculties in the cosmic mind. Reveal yourself to yourself. You got to go within and do that. Reveal yourself to yourself by affirming, I am the Christ, Son of the living God. Look at yourself, not as flesh and blood, but as spirit. Jesus Christ affirmed his true self and the Father acknowledged him. The reason for the limited comprehension and power of the ordinary man is found in the fact that he or she sees the world about them as under material law. And agreeing with it, you make yourself a part of it. I'm going to back that up so we can catch it. The reason for the limited comprehension and power of the ordinary man is found in the fact that we see the world about us as under material law, and agreeing with it, we become a part of it. Christ is the cosmic man, the grand man of the universe. Demonstrated, developed, brought out in every man. The birth of Christ in man is the bringing to consciousness of the spiritual idea of man, the Christ of God, through the quickening power of the word of truth. It is the beginning of the inner realms of consciousness of a higher set of faculties that, when grown to full stature, save the whole man from ignorance and error. It is a growth in man as tangible to those who reach certain stages as is that of a child to the mother. In its beginnings, so when they speak of sin and talk about error, departing from error is to depart from the law of our being. the law of conscience. In its beginnings, it is a mere quickening. We get a glimpse, a flutter under the stomach, accompanied often by unusual sensitiveness. Let me back it up so it flows. In its beginnings, it is a mere quickening flutter under the stomach, accompanied often by unusual sensitivities. In the emotional nature, we do not in the first stages of this process understand it, and sometimes are moved to put away from youth. It's like we get nudges, or we get glimpses, or we get however the spirit go to trying to make contact with us, and we ain't understanding what's going on, so we brush it off, or we put it, or we get talked out of it because we don't share it with somebody else who don't understand what's going on, because the spirit ain't trying to make contact with them, they trying to make contact with you. So how somebody else gonna be able to help you understand with what they ain't been contacted with unless they've been contacted with it? So then if you share something in the wrong hands, they might, the doubt in them might transfer into the doubt in you and talk you out of your glimpse till you don't even try to make contact no more. Walk with me. This is the spiritual significance of the statement that Joseph was merely betrothed to Mary, yet she was great with child. The soul is heavily charged with divine life and so full that it cannot express itself intelligently. Sometimes it ain't no words. Sometimes it ain't no verbal words to equate to spiritual things, spiritual events, or spiritual happiness. The soul is heavily charged with divine life and so full that it cannot express itself intelligently, because no union has yet taken place between it and the understanding, or the understanding, also known as Joseph. That was today's build, the Christ. Y'all pardon me for all my stuttering, but Mercury busy in a taton, and if I sound like I'm rushing, pardon me for that too, but I tried to be as clear as possible with all these energies that's going on through me. I am juggling them as we move along. You hear me? It's a work in process, and you know that's the beauty about it. I want to give us applause for those who've been around, because for those who've been around will understand when I say, through the transformations y'all have seen me make, because you've been around, I can see yours also. So give yourself a round of applause, because we done did some transforming since 2018, 19. You know, we done did some transforming. We done did a lot of transforming. We done did a lot of evolving, a lot of growing, a lot of maturing, a lot of feeling good for no reason at all. You hear me? We've been down through there. You hear me? Octopus mind, you know, Christ mind. We've been down through there and brought it back up, you know. So now everybody who didn't understand what was at the bottom, they get to understand what was down there through us, because we ain't down there no more. We up here walking on water amongst them. You hear me? So everybody who get that, it was for you. Stillness, abundance, love, and light, health, and wholeness. Today's emoji is gonna be the meditation emoji. So put the meditation emoji in the comments. You hear me? Cause this you know, this how we gonna be moving soon. You know, we ain't gonna even need our feet to move around. You hear me? If we get what's going on through these conscious applications. You hear me? So today's thing is gonna be the yoga meditation. And thanks for the likes, thanks for the unlikes, thanks for the shares. And I appreciate y'all who do. Thanks for the comments, salutations. Thanks for the love and support in all fashion forms and frequencies of love, light, and truth. I love y'all, family. My name is Sawu. Peace.